everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm super excited to show you how to use VoiSpark to clone a voice with an accent. Yep, whether it's Australian, Singaporean, or something else, VoiSpark can capture that accent and let you use it for voiceovers. We're gonna walk through the whole process together, uploading an accent sample, cloning it, generating a new voiceover, and then comparing the before and after. Let's jump right in! So, the first thing we need is to head over to your VoiceSpark dashboard, go to Voice Cloning, and click Create a New Voice. I've recorded a short piece of Australian English just for this tutorial. Let's have a quick listen.
Lizzie, police have declared a designated area across the entire city from South Bank to Southern Cross Station up to Fitzroy Gardens. That is where they'll be checking people for weapons. They could also ask people to remove their masks or hoods. They could also ask people to leave. Now, the March for Australia protests are happening right across the country. They're also happening in Sydney and Brisbane, so police resources will be stretched. Here is what Victoria Police have had to say.
Alright, now our voice clone is ready. The next step is to give it a name, something easy to remember. I'll call this one Australia accent, so I can quickly find it later. You can name yours anything you like. Here's an important part before you can confirm. You need to check this box to agree that you won't use this voice for any illegal, harmful, or abusive purposes. Alright, before we put it to the test, you can pick whichever model you like. I'm going with Minimax. It's my favorite one. Now I'll just let VoiceSpark give me some sentences. And over here on the right, don't forget you can play around with the model provider, version, and even the emotion to totally shape the vibe of your voice. I'm going with happy because now spread some good vibes. Then let's hit generate. This usually just takes a short moment. And done! Now we've got a custom voice profile ready to go. Pretty amazing, right? Okay, let's do a quick comparison. Let's play them back to back.
The recipe calls for 2 cups of flour, 3 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of butter, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Lizzie, police have declared a designated area across the entire city from South Bank to Southern Cross Station up to Fitzroy Gardens. That is where they'll be checking people for weapons. They could also ask people to remove their masks or hoods.
Wow, the similarity is pretty spot on. You can really hear how VoiceSpark captured the accent. Alright, that was our Australian accent demo, and it turned out pretty cool. Now let's try another one, this time a Singapore English accent. The steps are exactly the same, so it'll be quick. I've recorded a short Singapore English sample, just about 11 seconds long.
In Singapore, we don't say, "Yes, I understand, you already told me many times." Instead, we say, "Hana, na, 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 na." In Singapore, we don't say,
I'll pick the surprised emotion for this one just to make it sound a bit more lively. And I'm also going to speed it up to 1.1 because from what I remember, Singaporeans usually speak a little faster.
the recipe calls for 2 cups of flour, 3 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of butter, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Sounds pretty spot on, right? It really captures that quick, lively Singapore vibe. I love how natural it turned out. And that's it! Now you've seen how easy it is to clone different accents with VoiceSpark. If you found this tutorial helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more AI tips and tricks. I'd love to hear in the comments which accent you'd like to try cloning. Maybe I'll test it out in a future video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.